Hello everybody, this is Amergan and you're very welcome to this wonderful world of Vanadil and old school Final Fantasy XI. So you guys that are familiar with Final Fantasy XI will be very aware of the way that this game used to work a number of years ago at the 75 cap era, and how much the game has changed in the years since. So for anybody who's unfamiliar with the game, before you judge on its graphics or what it looks like in its gameplay, I suppose you should just be aware that this game is the guts of 16, 17, 18 years old now at this stage. I played this game back in its prime, the guts of about 10, 12 years ago perhaps, and for some reason, guys, this game just has never died. So a wee shout out just all the guys that have watched my Star Trek Fleet Command and other content. I haven't moved away from that. I've come to Final Fantasy XI, guys, because it was kind of like my first love on online games. So I heard recently that some young fella called Ninja was streaming this. I'm an old fella that's kind of out of touch with all of this. Like I say, I played this game 10 years plus ago, left it for a number of years, but it's going pretty strong. And when young fellas like Ninja, who's probably about 27, 28 years of age, he was probably something like 11 or 12 years of age when this game was first released. So to hear that guys like that are streaming this, then it demonstrates its longevity, that it's got something about it that just doesn't want to die, lads. This is an amazing game. Back in the day, the community was amazing. Like it could be toxic like any other community at times, of course. But in reality, it was a game that forced you to be social. It forced you to go and team up with people. And the game, the way it's gone nowadays, there's a lot of solo options. Square Enix have brought in an awful lot of changes to the modern version of the game. And it's kind of killed some of the social aspect, but was very badly needed with trusts and different things. To allow people to clear content with a lower player population, given that Final Fantasy XIV is the online game that people go to. That's the place where people go to for the current, more modern version of this style of game. But for some reason, guys, like I say, it's just not dying. This game has a lifespan that doesn't look like it's gonna end, and recently we've heard that there's been a bit of an announcement from Square Enix that there's some sort of surprise coming for its 20th anniversary. So 2002 its release, I suppose, so that gives us 2022 for its 20th anniversary. It's a couple of years off yet, and it's quite unheard of for any announcement relating to a game, even in the modern era, to make that sort of announcement so early. So there's a lot of speculation out there as to what this surprise from Square Enix could be. Some people say it could be the mobile version of the game that's coming out. Other people say it could be a HD remake of this game. Some people reckon it could be just a complete overhaul. The dreamers among us like to think that maybe there'd be some correlation, some sort of combination between the worlds of 14 and 11, or maybe some kind of new release of this style of game with the interest levels that 14 would hold at the moment. No question that there's still an interest in this game, with, like I say, the ninjas of the world coming and streaming it. And for the likes of myself, who's been doing a wee bit of work on that, I do some random live streams on Twitch with this, guys. If anybody ever wants to check it out, come along and look it up. I have a couple of buddies that's going to play with me. I've got Pep, and she should be online with me later on this evening. Pep and Sancho and a few other mates that are keen on this game, have played it in their day as well, some more than others, but we're all taking a rattle at this old school version of the game. And quite tough going, guys. Leveling up Monk at the moment with the intention of going and leveling up warrior, and perhaps eventually leveling up something like paladin. I have no idea what way it's gonna go. It's really all for the fun at the moment. But I'm looking forward to the challenge. I'm looking forward to getting to Welcome Dunes. I'm looking forward to see how that social element of the game is now in 2019. Looking very much forward to getting the Chocobo license and not having to run around the place. And the sub job, of course, will be a big task, getting those sub job items. So I'm going to do a short series of videos on this, guys, and just to follow the progress of this Galka, a Sandorian Galka, and see how he gets on with the content. Outstanding moments for me that I'm looking forward to reliving if I ever get there would be, for example, the Chains of Prometheum Mammoth fight, something that I found very difficult back in the day. Of course, it's the Promies, which were always good, but that Mammoth fight was something that I done it a lot of it, and I done it on Summoner. My old jobs would have been Monk, Summoner, Red Mage, those kind of things. But I'm looking forward to a slight change, maybe being a tank this time. Maybe a bit of a DD, maybe I'll turn towards Samurai maybe a little bit or something like that. Any ideas or feelings or comments you guys want to make, feel free to make them below, and we'll reply to those if we can and we get an opportunity. So out in Runfer here, leveling up on rabbits and worms and these kind of things, and you're looking at something like 20 to 30 EXP a pop when you get up to kind of like level 7, 8, 9. Lithium Plateau is the next spot to go to, but doing the outpost supplies quests again and things like that, just to be able to travel around even those short distances. Very laborious travel methods, and then down the line, I guess one of the things that I'll want to do will be the airship pass and things like that, to get traveling around this wonderful world. This game, like I say, is an amazing game. It held my interest for a number of years. It's my first love, like I say, and there's a lot of people out there still with an interest in it. So that's kind of gonna be the plan going forward. Level up a wee bit, get the sub job sorted out, and see how we go. A few notorious monsters down the line, but I can't really afford to look that far into the future yet because it's such slow going when you're trying to get to Welcome Dunes and trying to level up to kind of like 20, 30 to get those advanced jobs unlocked. So I'm looking very much forward to hooking up with the guys. I'm looking forward to doing a bit of streaming, and looking forward to seeing what the community is actually like nowadays. I'd fully expect that a lot of the drama and nonsense that used to happen back in the day, that a lot of that would be gone now, because people are on average 10 or 15 years older, a bit more mature perhaps, and with low player populations, you would imagine in this instance that people are forced to work together. Not a huge amount of options when it comes to people to go and do higher level content. So I'm looking forward to see what that might be like later on. Dreading the idea of doing the limit breaks and all of that, but we'll see how that goes. But once we get to that point, hopefully we can start sussing out what it's actually like to try and go and do things like Dynamis and things like that. They were always a big challenge back in the day. Yeah, so that's the plan, guys, and get this Galka out, working on this monk, and then get warrior perhaps. Now there's a bit of debate about whether thief is still necessary. Thief, as always at these levels, is not wanted in a party, but then, you know, if you're going to be hunting notorious monsters and things like that, then a thief is very much desirable. Those extra drop rates, and particularly on those notorious monsters, even those low level notorious monsters for like the leaping boots and things like that, and the rabbit charm, and even the Empress hairpin and all of those kind of things. Those are quite low level notorious monsters that you would like to think that we're able to farm for those very, very nice items. Some of those items would last up to level 75 if I remember correct. So right now it's about surviving. It's about legging it all the way down to Valcom Dunes, getting the telepoint crystals and all of that kind of stuff, and hopefully not dying too much. And yeah, I look forward to hooking up with any of you guys that happen to be watching that are playing the game, and any of you guys that don't play this game. If you fancy checking it out, come along and hook up with me on a Twitch stream, or just leave a wee comment down below in the section for comments underneath this video. So guys, I'm practically done. Looking forward to the next one. Like I say, give it a like if you like it, and subscribe and all that kind of stuff, and I will catch all of you guys again in another Final Fantasy video coming very, very shortly. And until then, take care of yourselves, and I will chat to all of you guys again very, very soon. Cheers.